Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. In this video, I am going to continue doing the remodel that I'm doing. So to start out, I'm going to tell you what my plan is for this area, and then I'm going to start doing the demo work that needs to get done here. Now, if you don't know this, this was originally my kitchen. My kitchen was here, and some stuff was going to go here, and I had a wall that was right here, and my shower was in this corner, and my toilet was over here, and I was going to do a sink right here. And if you don't know this, my bedroom is underneath this section. It's not, I didn't do a lofted bedroom like your standard conventional tiny house. My bedroom is in the lower section. The reason being is it stays cool down there. I like sleeping when it's cold. Up here is hot. It gets hot up here. I always keep this window open, just cracked a little bit so some of the heat goes out. So that was one of the main reasons I did this. Plus I was thinking about the tiny house thing, and you're given this standard, I'll call it. It's not a standard because there's no set standards, but 8'6" wide, however long you want to go, by 13'6" tall. You have to stay within those parameters. That would be a good word, parameters. So, you know, I went with a 20-footer, and I'm under the 13'6". I'm like 13'5½", and I am right at 8'6". You have that space, and everybody keeps building the exact same type of thing. It's just cookie cutter. Come on, get away from the cookie cutter. And that is what this house is. Completely custom, 100% unique. I have not seen 90% of the stuff I've done in this house in other tiny houses. So it is 100% custom, especially after I do this last remodel right here. So what the plan is, this right here was going to be a window right where my kitchen sink was. So I was doing my dishes, I could look out the window. And I was going to either put the stove or the refrigerator right here, as well as the dishwasher right here. And then on this side, it would have gone, if whatever I didn't put there, the stove or the fridge would have gone here. And then I would have had 3 or 4 feet of counter space and a bar and stuff like that. But that's irrelevant. And I would have had another window right there. I would have had a bathroom window in here. This would have shrunken down a little bit, but this is all going to change. My front door now is going to be right here. So I need to demo all this stuff right here. This header needs to come out. These cripples need to come out. Sill, cripple, plumbing, electrical, all this stuff needs to be taken out right here. This window is going to be widened to this king stud right here. So I'm going to cut this out right here. Take this header out, add a new header in to here, put a jack in, and reframe this. So I end up with a wider window. The height's still going to stay the same. This window right here is getting closed in. I'm going to take this header out, this sill out, cut these out, and possibly this one out. And I'm going to run a header from this corner all the way to this stud right here. This will become a king stud. And I will put a jack down all the way to the floor. And I will frame a window. This window will be the exact same size as the window above my kitchen sink. So I will have a huge picture window right there. What that'll end up doing is making this more of a living room. So I did some research, and I can get a couch that's like a love seat, double reclining couch. That's roughly like 65 inches wide, which comes to right about here. So I can put a love seat couch right in this location and a wonderful entertainment center. I can put a large flat screen TV right on this wall. There's plenty of room, as well as do some built-in cabinetry right here to hold DVD players and Blue HGs and all that good stuff. I don't know. I'm not very technical savvy, but technology will go right there. It'll be beautiful. Maybe even put my TV on one of those things. That would be cool, wouldn't it? You press a button and your TV. He's on drugs. He's on drugs. Now another thing is, every once in a while I have company over. Don't worry about that, okay? That's going into that personal life that I like to keep you guys out of. But there's nowhere in this house to eat, ever. Even with my old design that I had, there kind of was. And with this new design, there wasn't really. But the other day I was sitting in here and I was looking at this and I was like, oh my goodness, that couch is going to come to right here. That leaves this huge space. Got to be like 3 feet wide by 3 feet. Leaves a huge spot for a dining room table. Now, of course, a dining room table won't work there. But, you ready for this? your mind's going to be blown. So what I'm going to do is build a knee wall. A knee wall is just a wall, but shorter and small. Knee, wall. Small wall. It's going to go into this wall, and it's going to come out to roughly in this area. I don't want to take up too much because of this space and also my stairwell going into my basement. I might have to shrink just a little bit to make this work. But what I'm going to do is do a bar countertop right here. So something that's 42 to 48 inches high. I can do 2 bar stools right here, and then I can cantilever that countertop off that knee wall, and I have a beautiful seating area. And it's almost, I think it's basically flush with the top of the fridge right now, which that might change. And also I have my microwave underneath my refrigerator now. So that is good. Things are working out. Obviously a lot of this stuff in the kitchen is going to change. The whole thing's going to be redone, but generally everything that is there is going to stay where it's at. I still got to put the stove in, and then I got to build all the kitchen cabinets. But I think that would be absolutely perfect. Date night. You can sit 2 people here on something that's about 3 feet wide. It'll be a little tight, cozy, comfy. If I make it about 14 inches wide, it'll give a nice spot to hang out and have dinner. The whole reason that this is actually happening is because of that door. If that door did not do what I needed it to do, this would not have happened. But when I put that door into this location, when it swings open, it is going to be 1.5 inches from this 2x6. Now I still need to add 3/4 inches here. So when that door does finally open, it's going to be 3/4 inch away from the top of the ceiling. Which, if that wasn't going to work, then this whole project wouldn't have happened. One thing I definitely wanted to do was to raise this ceiling height in my bedroom, which meant I would have to do a lot of this work over again. I was going to do that, but since that door is going to fit here, I'm going to live with that bedroom height. It's not that bad. Another 3-4 inches wouldn't have made a difference down there, so I'm gonna start ripping into this bad boy. So that is my master plan for this area. Now I need to make all these openings different so that it'll fit. Oh, and one thing I forgot to add, right over here, which you can't see, and I'm not going to show you because it's a disaster right there, as well as everything behind the camera. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen that picture. It is a disaster. Disaster. But again, I don't have anywhere to put things. Once I get stuff built, I'll be able to hide those uglies. But over here, I'm going to put a window that is the same size window as my bedrooms, or what this would have been and what that would have been. I'm going to put that window down there. I originally was going to put that wider window down there, but I've since realized that it's not going to work. And since I spent so much money on those windows, I need to make it work. That's why I'm making that window wider and putting the window that was going to go there down there, and the window that was going to go there up here. I can't wait to just sit on my couch. Oh yeah. Need a whacking device. The piping, I'm going to throw out any of these fittings that I have. These, as well as the tees. I'm going to save these for the rainy day, because the rainy day comes every once in a while. If I could go back and buy some PEX cutters, I wouldn't have bought the cheapest ones. These things suck. This wire right here is, I don't know what it's called. I think it's like 3-2 or something. But it is so you can have a 3-way switch. So when I leave my house, my light switches are going to be right here. I'll be able to shut my bedroom light off when I leave the house right here, or I can turn my bedroom light on, and this will also control the living room and the kitchen. So you'll be able to control all the lights here with 3-way switches, as well as the bedroom. This is expensive wire. I want to save this. Where did I put it? Peanut, what did you do with it? I didn't take it. You stop accusing me of this larcenies. Now the door that's going into this location is narrower than the actual opening, but since this is a king stud and I need it to stay here, I'm going to just add a header in up top here, add in a piece of jack to support it, and then I will close this in to what it needs to be. But these cripples need to be cut flush with the bottom of the plywood, and then I'll have to scab in something there. It's going to be kind of hackish, but this whole project has been. Look at that mold though. You see that? That is ridiculous. And there's no mold behind the insulation. I kind of want to go watch some Netflix. So the door that's going in here is 83 inches tall, which is right here. Which means I'm only going to be able to put a 2-inch header right here. So that's going to be a real weak point of this house. I'm contemplating getting some steel and incorporating it into the header. That would be some really awesome stuff. If I could find like a little piece of 2-inch angle iron, that would be awesome. I can cut all this stuff out and we can worry about the header later. The best demo tool you could ever use is this thing right here. The reciprocating saw. Better known as a Sawzall, but that's a name brand. I got a metal cutting blade on it, and I have an extra one because I broke 2 yesterday. This one I guarantee is going to break in this little demo. But anywhere I got a joint, I'm just going to cut. So bam, 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 bam. I'll cut along here. I'll cut down here, there. The less amount of hitting I do, the better it'll be. There it went. I told you it was going to break. What is this, bimetal? It'll work. It's cheap. I should have bought 2. I think they screwed up with their pricing. It was like $2. I mean, them damn things are like $5. I'm happy. Not with the brand, Irwin. That is dog shit. I ran out of 6s the day that I nailed this wall up. It was like really late at night, and I used spikes. I think on the bottom half, and then I found 6s. Oh boy. Man, that is like solid. Since the plywood's getting removed from here to about here, any damage I do to this plywood is completely okay. That is solid. I have never felt a piece of wood as solid as that is right there. When you're doing framing, you really need a framing hammer. You can tell a framing hammer by the way the forks come off on the front. They're pointed out basically straight. If it was a trim hammer, that would be arched really big. I use this thing for trimming as well. It's got a smooth head on it. Well, it used to be milled, but there's a plywood joint there too, so I nailed the shit out of it. Wow, it's so hard. What the hell did you do? Okay, you're getting cut in half. Wasn't bad. Look at that. It would be really great just to cut the plywood out. It would make this so much easier. I just don't want to finish this project just yet. Oh yeah, that came out. It's gonna be nails. That is why I use glue. Look at that. I mean, that was not going anywhere. Strong like bull. Like bull testicle. Making firewood. That's all I'm doing. This was built well. You cannot argue with me on that, okay? Peanut, you are filthy muddy. You are not allowed in the house. We're not. Dude, this is not fair. You let dirty women in your house? Oh, wow. Is that the sexy pack? Yeah, it's the sexy pack. It's just so sexy. Did you notice I got new pants? I got new pants and new shirts. Got another bag of black t-shirts. Brings my grand total to about 60 black t-shirts. So I have those electrical wires that ran inside those joists, and they come out right here. I don't think they're live. Like, I'm gonna go with a strong 40% they're not live. I know you're saying those aren't really good odds, but it'll only hurt for a second. Oh, this is so stupid. They were not live. I'm gonna go cut that from outside. I'm gonna leave you in here though. It'll be like an artsy shot. I'll be all artsy, fartsy. How was that artistic shot I just did? The good camera looks a little clocky wamp ass. How's that? Not as clocky wamp ass anymore. That was a pain in the ass, man. That was the hardest one I've had to do. So I'm gonna have to rip a sill, and I believe it should be 1 inch. Yeah, 1 inch by 34 1/4. Yeah. All right, so I got my sill ripped down to 1 inch. Now keep in mind that the bottom of my door is 1 3/4 solid mahogany. So anyone who thinks that this isn't going to be strong enough, that threshold is going to be way stronger. So I laid out where these joists are and studs are, so I know where to nail into it. I'm just going to pop this in there, and this should be flush with this plywood. Oh yeah! All right, now that that's done, I got to put in my header, and I'm just going to take a block and run it from the top of this jack into the header. Some people will have a problem with that, but I've done it, and it has definitely flown with building inspectors. This side, this stud's going to continue up, and then I'm going to sister up another one on top of that, or to the side of that, since this ends up being the exact opening I need. So, header time. I'm going to go and try to find some steel. I really don't want to move the door. That's going to be a pain in the ass. So I went and picked up a piece of 2-inch angle iron. This thing is beefy, way bigger than what it needs to be, and probably way overkill for what I'm doing here. But I'm going to go make this header out of this. I'm going to incorporate some 2x into it. I'm not going to film any. I'm just going to go and do it, because I got to go and do stuff over there, and it's far, and just easier for me just to do it. Alright, so I made that header. I just took that piece of angle iron, and I sandwiched it in between 2 pieces of ripped 2x4. Had to put a little sliver here so I can get 3 inches this way, 2 inches this way. And then I pre-drilled some holes and screwed it together in a few spots, as well as on the back side. And this thing is beefy. It weighs probably 20 to 30 pounds. It is heavy, way overkill for the load that it's carrying. But any engineer will tell you over-engineer stuff versus under-engineer stuff. I could have just put the angle iron in there, but I need stuff to nail stuff to. So now I have wood to nail trim to, and everything will be good this way. She's beefy, by the way. She is one beefy piece of wood. Alright, I got my jack. Put my header in. Oh yeah, that's strong. Strong like bull. So this point represents my total width of 34 1/4. 2 pieces of wood. I need one at 37 5/8. Now that is framed out. I'm going to cut this plywood out. Take that door out. Is that going to be the end of this video? It might be. I can't remember where I'm at on the edit. Alright guys, I think that's going to be the end of this video. You can see that I did frame out this window right here. I framed out that window, made it a little bit wider. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see that. And you just saw me do that. Next video, or the next video in this remodel series, I'm going to be taking that door out and putting it into this opening. Also have to move that temporary deck that I have out there. I do apologize for this kind of repeat video. I mean, it's all the same basically, just doing the same thing over and over again. But I love filming. And you guys do tend to watch them. Not a lot of you, but people are watching them, so I will keep making them. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to help support my channel, possibly a future build, please go check me out on Patreon. The link's in the description. Just $1 a month, and you will get a lot of content well before it's released. Just this week, I uploaded about 5 videos, and those are all going to the Patreon supporters. And that was this series, these videos you're watching right now, I just uploaded. And that was, when you're watching this on YouTube, that was about 3 to 4 months ago. So, if you want to see where I'm actually at currently, then go check me out on Patreon. Link, again, description below. Check it out. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.